Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the Nectar service of the NTA. I am Kendi Olaleye. Thanks for joining us. And we go straight to Lagos, where the demolition exercise of some substandard building have begun. And Jennifer is standing by with details. Jennifer, we're eager to hear the latest on the demolition exercise in Lagos. Can you tell us?
Yes, thank you, Kendi. We have an update on the collapsed building in Lagos and demolition exercise that happened there this morning. Now, more facts have emerged on the collapsed building at Itafaji, Lagos, as family members of victims and survivors share their experiences with our news crew. Paul Umokago, who has been following the development on the incident, tells us more.
The search and rescue operation has officially ended. This is all that is left of number 63 Massey Street, Itafaji.
Ayomide Owolabi, 4 years old, is one of the survivors. He is a pupil of Owen Nursery and Primary School, which was on the top floor before the building collapsed. His father, Sahid Owolabi, says Ayo, as he is fondly called, never intended going to school on the fateful day.
My wife called me back that it was number 8 that they pick out. So they rush him to the Massey Hospital. From Massey Hospital, they transfer him to General Hospital. So we were at the General Hospital since Wednesday. So they just discharged us now yesterday.
Moduno Lawa and her 2 children were not at home when the incident occurred. But her husband was not that lucky as he passed on.
Now only my husband don't die.
Okay. You said the inside the house when it happened?
I know they now only on my husband they did.
And I'm there around there whether they go carry my brother come as I don't see anything there. He reached 6:30. 6:30. Then one of people wait there for they carry one sack. My brother did inside. I told him, say, let me see the thing where they inside your sack. They say, make I come, I should come at mortuary to come at anything where I want to see. I should come there, come and see my brother. I told, let me see. Everybody come gather. Say, let him see this. Now, his brother, he lost his brother there. Let him see this. If not his brother, you can go. They can't open her. I see my brother inside. As then he don't die.
NTA gathered that the building was marked unsafe for human habitation during the administration of former Governor Babatunde Fashola.
So a year ago, our institute drafted a bill that will stop things like this, about construction, about state of buildings generally. Who is responsible? We've drafted the bill, we've sent it to the presidency, we've sent it to every state. No state, no government, state or federal, has taken a concrete action on that bill.
A lot of buildings look appealing to the eyes, but they have structural defects. In Lagos, Paul Omukago, NTA News.
Thank you, Paul. Now, meanwhile, the Lagos State government has commenced demolition of 80 buildings at Itafaji. The Secretary, Lagos State Building Control Agency, Tayo Fakolujo, says the building failed structural stability tests. Amaka Owo reports.
Number 60 Freeman Street, Lagos Island, was the first port of call for operatives of the Lagos State Building Control Agency, where demolition exercise began today. It is one of the 80 buildings that will be brought down as a result of not meeting the stipulated standards.
We're going to be doing 3. This is the second one we are doing now.
Okay, so and where did you start from and where are we now?
We're in Smith. This is number 46, Smith. You can see the property. In a number 10 minutes, it's going to come down. We have evacuated people from living there. They are the only people there are squatters, and we have removed them. And that's why we are doing the demolition right away.
You are doing a lot of good. That good must be complete in the sense that now, don't do it just today and leave it just half done. Let us know what action you are going to do to destroy that place completely, to have no danger.
The operatives of the Lagos State Building Control Agency say that more buildings who fail to meet the stipulated requirements are likely to go down in the nearest future. It's back to you in the studio.
Kemaka will still give you more information about that when we get. Now, the federal government has concluded plan to introduce methanol fuel technology in the transportation and energy sectors of the economy before the end of the second quarter of 2019. Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu, disclosed this when he presented the report of the Technical Committee on Methanol Value Chain Implementation Program held in Lagos. Emil Dori compiled the report.
Ranked 9th in the world, Nigeria holds the largest natural gas reserves on the African continent and is also among the world's top 5 explorers of liquefied natural gas. Investigation revealed that the country's oil and natural gas industry accounts for 75% of government revenue and 90% of total export earnings. This is why the federal government in 2018 set up a committee to explore the diversification of the economy through the sourcing of alternative means of efficient transportation and electricity generation with the use of methanol.
If you can get any technology that is domiciled in Nigeria and that our people develop that capacity, they have it, they can transfer it. You can use that technology in producing methanol to do other things.
The intention is to produce what we call M15, that is 50% of methanol in 85% of PMS. And with that, there will be no or little modification on our existing vehicles.
And so for national economic growth and development, national security and economic recovery and diversification, science, technology, and innovation must be at the forefront.
It is expected that a few weeks from now, the Technical Committee, in collaboration with other relevant agencies, would have realized full conversion of diesel vehicles to 100% methanol and its utilization for generation of electricity.
That's it from this end. We return to Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Jennifer. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the continued trust and support of the people are crucial to achieving set goals by the Buhari administration. The Vice President, at an appreciation dinner for volunteers during the 2019 election campaign, thanked Nigerians for their belief in the Buhari administration and given him the mandate to serve for a second term. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo emphasized that their trust would not be betrayed as the administration is more determined to meet the expectations of all Nigerians. State House correspondent Jide Unifade reports.
The one who is supposed to be offering these people comfort, offering them succor, offering them hope, but they themselves are so hopeful. They are the ones who are even offering the support, offering all of the comfort, and offering us all of their love and everything.
The Vice President recounting the numerous shows of love and kindness he received from Nigerians as he went about every nook and cranny of the country during the campaign towards the 2019 elections.
Say a very big thank you to the Nigerian people for the contributions that they made to bringing us here.
The lesson from these interactions with Nigerians, as the Vice President says, is that the leaders must find a way of connecting to the people they serve. This, he says, the administration would do in this second coming and get the people more involved and well informed of activities and achievements of government. The Vice President says Nigerians are right in their belief that the Buhari administration is what the country needs at this time, stressing that the nation would progress faster with a leader that is honest.
Business of doing the right thing, of governing right, is not rocket science. If the president is an honest man, as we have an honest man, everything we want done will be done. And I believe very strongly that with your support, with your continued support, all of what we wish, all of what we want for our country will be done. And by the grace of God, every one of the infrastructure projects that we want done will be done. Our economy will turn around and we will see prosperity in this great nation of ours by the grace of God.
He urged the people to work harder towards achieving success in the rerun elections coming up on the 23rd of March. For retired General Buba Marwa and others, appreciation also goes to the president and all those involved in the cause of moving the country forward.
We can only wish our leadership God's continued blessings and guidance and peace and prosperity for Nigeria.
It is imperative that certain reforms, such as electoral reforms, internal party reforms, and judicial reforms, are undertaken to give the good people of this country a fighting chance.
As this gift indicates, the people expect more goals to be achieved from the government in coming years and promised their continued support for the Buhari administration. From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifade, NT News.
And now to legislative matters. Senators-elect have assured Nigerians of a working relationship with the executive arm of government in the Ninth Assembly. This came to the fore during a familiarization dinner organized for the new legislators. Ignatius Unko reports.
At about 10 o'clock in the morning of Thursday, 14th of March 2019, senators-elect were at the International Conference Center, Abuja, to collect their certificate of return. 9 hours later, it was time to dine and wine together. For the new ones, it was a first get-together, and to the serving senators, it was a continuation of a tradition. To the new entrants into the Red Chamber, it was a time for familiarization with the old tenants. But interestingly, the focus of this evening gathering was on the need for unity of purpose towards national development. Need for cordial working relationship with the executive arm of government in the Ninth Assembly was paramount.
I believe that the Ninth Assembly is going to be very robust, is going to be very united, because I can see different people from different divides, from different constituencies.
Executive, legislative atmosphere has not been very cordial. So I think by the time we come in, having experienced what it is like to be on the executive side, we'll try our best to see that we bring down the temperature a bit.
That we have a united front so that we can work harmoniously with the executive.
Is to ensure that the interests of Nigerians, the welfare of Nigerians are, primary concern.
And the executive arm of government.
Senate leader Ahmed Lawan shared some of his experiences with his new colleagues.
We should work towards a relationship that will be characterized by consultation, by coordination, by partnership, and serious and deep synergy between the two arms of government.
I think this night Senate should be substantially different from the 8th Senate.
Some serving members used the forum to commend the Senate leader Ahmed Lawan for his exceptional leadership qualities. Ignatius Unko, NTN News.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Ita Enang, has advised the National Assembly to give accelerated consideration to the 2019 appropriation bill. He gave this advice when he briefed National Assembly correspondents. The legislative aide expressed concern over the delay in the consideration of some of the items pending in the Senate, especially the medium-term expenditure framework, the National Minimum Wage Bill, and the confirmation of the Chairman and members of the Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission.
2019 appropriation bill. Let them also consider as priority the medium-term expenditure framework which they have committed to the committee. And of course, the medium-term expenditure framework is going to be the basis of their determining different parameters that is going to be used in the consideration and passage of the 2019 appropriation. On our part, as the liaison and the executive, that the executive is ready with all their system to come in and defend the budget. Also use opportunity to pray the legislature that the budget of the different government-owned agencies and corporations is still pending before them. And unless this budget of the different agencies are passed, considered and passed, then we still have a lot to lose in terms of opportunities for employment in those ministries and some capital projects which would have inflated the economy and given more people things to do.
Participants of Executive Intelligence Management Course 12 have been mandated to provide workable solutions to migration issues and farmers-herders conflict across sub-Saharan countries. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, in a message also reminded the participant of the professional advice that will go a long way in addressing such issues in the region. Ahmed reports.
Today, many enlightened Africans are daily embarking on unguided journeys to Europe seeking greener pasture that may not exist. To address this modern trend and its challenges, the Executive Management course was put in place with top security experts as participants. The Permanent Secretary Special Services in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Amina Shamaki, who stood in for the SGF, while acknowledging the relevance of the course, which seeks to address transnational migration issues, reminded them of their assignment in curbing this societal menace.
To the often held belief that poverty is the main driver of immigration, the present government has embarked on various development efforts which should discourage the crave for seeking greener pastures in developed countries, and for ensuring rapid growth and economic development.
Course participants are drawn from 24 security and paramilitary agencies and 4 foreign nationals undertaking key study on migration-related issues and its effect to the economies of African countries. Ahmed, NTA News.
We'll take a short break now. Nationwide continues shortly.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA. When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Thank you for being there. INEC declares election in some areas inconclusive. Charles is standing by in Makurdi to give us an update.
Ukende and a warm welcome to Makurdi. The Benue state government has allocated the sum of 20 million naira in the first instance for the reconstruction of the burnt administrative block, Kasinala. Governor Samuel Otom made the pronouncement when he inspected the structure, which was recently gutted by fire. Bem Hanya reports.
The state government had earlier set up a committee to look into the cause of the fire, which gutted the administrative block of the college with a view to forestalling a recurrence. Governor Samuel Otom, who inaugurated a newly built academic staff office complex, as well as gari and maize processing industry, directed that the contractor who handled the former project be recalled to fix the structural defects that he noticed on the structure. While addressing management, staff, and students of the college, the governor pledged the commitment of his administrations to support the institution in vocational and technical education, as well as assist in the accreditation. Provost of the college, Savua Boyo, commended the governor for the visit and the effort to reconstruct the burnt building and called for government's intervention in the frequent dispute and security challenges the college has been facing with the host community. From College of Education, Katinala, Benue State, Bem Hanya, NTA News.
And on electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared 9 out of the 30 State Assembly general elections in Benue State inconclusive. This is contained on the list of winners just released by the Commission in the state. Here are the details. The 9 local government areas whose elections are inconclusive include Ado, Boko East, Gwe East, Kasinala West, and Konshisha. Others are Okpoku, Otupo, Akpa, and Ukum. INEC says the 9 areas affected will have their supplementary elections simultaneously on the 23rd of March, which is Saturday, with the polling units which were cancelled during the governorship polls in the state. The rerun of the Oju Federal Constituency election is yet to be confirmed by the resident electoral commissioner. In Makudi, that report runs off a contribution from Makudi. Kende is back to you for continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Charles. Unemployed youth in the country have no cause to remain poor if they avail themselves the opportunity created by the federal government aimed at developing their potentials for self-reliance. This came to the fore as the federal government, through Ogun and Osun River Basin Authority, trained hundreds of unemployed youth in Ogun State. Anthony Gandonu witnessed a 3-day training in our report.
Initiated by the federal government in collaboration with Ogun River Basin Development Authority, the 3-day training program was to create healthier and better quality of lives for underprivileged youths in Ogun State. The youth selected from Ogun Central Senatorial District were trained in aquaculture and fish smoking, confectionaries, as well as soap and detergent making.
Let me just put it this way: anybody that lives here and did not start immediately, maybe the person has problem, because you don't need to go and buy anything. Everything is complete. The materials you are going to use from A to Z is there.
So with that, I can go straight into the business, just to get the fish and process it and sell it. So after that, from there, I'll be multiplying my business and co-opt another people to come into the business.
I can be self-independent now. I don't need to work under somebody to be waiting for salary at the end of the month.
The training dwelt more on practical demonstration of skills needed for self-reliance.
We are a development agency of the federal government, so we're expected to be able to participate in developing the community or members of the community, especially the youth, in order to create employment, self-employment, or they become employers themselves at the end of the day.
I encourage them to always make sure there is fish always, and the quality of the product matters a lot. So with that, good product advertises itself.
At the end of the 3-day exercise, participants were handed empowerment materials, seed capital, and equipment to start off their businesses.
The world has adjudged Edo State the best in the south-south geopolitical zone of the country in taking concrete steps to revamp technical and vocational education. It has therefore chosen Edo for the pilot of its innovation development and effectiveness in skill acquisition projects. To this end, Governor Godwin Obaseki inaugurated a 13-man committee and state steering coordinating unit for effective implementation. Goodluck Inaini reports.
The United Nations, through the World Bank, is supporting the Federal Ministry of Education and some selected states, including Edo, to promote technical and vocational education in Nigeria. Governor Obaseki says he will do all he can to justify the confidence. One area the governor expects the committee to focus more is on the training of teachers.
It's not something that's going to be driven by government alone. That's why we have, the private sector partners in here, because we're preparing people to go and work for them. So they must be on the table, they were on the discussion table, as we decide on the type of curriculum, the type of orientation, the type of preparations we give to the
Chairman of the committee and Commissioner for Science and Technology, Mr. Christopher Adesotu, representatives of National Board for Technical Education say the choice of Edo for the project is timely. Edo State is the first among the states selected in the 6 geopolitical zones to have inaugurated a committee for this purpose. In Benin, Goodluck Inaini, NT News.
And now to health matters. Nephrologists have continued to emphasize the need for people to live a healthy lifestyle and consume more water to keep their kidneys safe and fit. Aisha Ubali reports that the Association of Nephrologists, Nurses and Doctors took the awareness campaign to business places to mark this year's World Kidney Day in line with the theme Kidney Health for Everyone, Everywhere.
Ethel Oputu trades at Garki International Market in the FCT. The knowledge that she can know her kidney condition through a simple urine test is new but empowering for her daily living. Like Ethel, many of these busy traders who were initially ignorant say the awareness is apt.
It will make you to know your kidney condition.
Determined to take the message to average Nigerian, this group of nephrologists walked the major street of the Abuja city center and terminated at the Garki market with the aim to see a change in behavior towards kidney care. According to the leader of the group, Florence Agogo, some 850 million persons globally have kidney-related health challenge, and about 1.6% of the cases that present in hospitals are women and 12.4% men.
10 minutes walk in a day, then gradually you increase it to 20, 30, and as your strength can carry you. And some people, basically, they are not even aware that they are hypertensive. They don't know that their blood pressure is raised. With this program today, we'll be able to screen 1 or 2 persons, and you discover that their blood pressure is raised, and we direct them, advise them on what to do.
The necessity of access to information and affordable treatment for patients with kidney failure are part of the recommendations of the group. In Abuja, Aisha Ubali, NTA News.
Still staying with health matters, making the treatment of tuberculosis cost-effective while providing a wider coverage to capture missing cases as some of the issues experts in Nigeria are raising as the world prepares to commemorate the International Day of Tuberculosis. Aisha Ubali again reports that speakers at a press conference in Abuja expressed worry at the deficit of 147 billion naira issues.
Stigma, they note, is one of the major impediments to many patients' apathy to accessing health care, therefore increasing preventable death cases. There are, however, a few like 31-year-old Funke Dosumu who prioritize living to survive this curable disease. The mother of 2 was diagnosed with tuberculosis in 2015, but today she is sharing her healing story.
Not a very easy disease. It's a crisis that is terrible. The experience is terrible. And I actually experienced all that. But I had motivation during the time of my illness, and that gave me courage to come out to speak as a TB survivor and a TB advocate.
The speakers advocate the need for Nigeria to integrate TB program into the total health plan and adopt smart diagnostic equipment, as well as make policies that will encourage active case findings.
It's also time for us to know what causes resistance and a timely need for action to scale up research, funding, human rights, and accountability to end TB in Nigeria.
As government plans to roll out preventive therapy, with speakers lauded, they believe it is in the interest of the country to focus on increasing the number of patients on treatment, given a close look at latent TB cases. Annually, the world commemorates the Tuberculosis Day to create awareness and provide information on the level of progress made so far by countries. In Abuja, Aisha Ubali, NTA News.
The Action Democratic Party says there is no need to lose lives during elections because the process is a contestation of ideas and not war. The national chairman of the party, Yabagi Yusuf Sani, stated this at a media briefing in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The Action Democratic Party's briefing is to officially react to the gruesome murder of its candidate for the 2019 Oyo Central Senatorial District election, Mr. Temitope Olatoye, as well as the violence and some alleged irregularities during the March 9th, 2019 governorship and state houses of assembly elections. The national chairman, however, observed improved elections operations by the Independent National Electoral Commission.
We in the ADP, therefore, call for a comprehensive reforms in the electoral process
We therefore urge President Muhammadu Buhari to sign the amended Electoral Act into law to make it easier for the collection and transmission of results, which is more efficient and effective and save time.
Yabakisani enjoined ADP members and supporters to remain calm and law-abiding during and after the supplementary elections. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Now time to join Comfort in Enugu, where some Southeast leaders applauded the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. Hello, Comfort.
Kende, and welcome to Enugu Network Center. More Nigerians, including traditional rulers from the Southeast zone, have continued to applaud the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari for a second term in office. They are, however, appealing to the federal government to intensify efforts towards the timely completion of the second Niger bridge and the revitalization of railway system in the zone. Chinenye Nwoye reports.
The leaders expressed satisfaction with President Muhammadu Buhari's leadership style, especially in the areas of fighting corruption, infrastructural development, and human empowerment.
I'm congratulating him on his deserved re-election. He should use these 4 years to attend to the needs and the admiration of all for him.
It is a triumph of honesty. A triumph for a man who has dedicated his life to serve this country, not to acquire wealth. And the country has paid him back by showing confidence in him, returning him back to his seat.
They also enjoined the federal government to do more in the areas of security of lives and property, provision of quality healthcare system, and establishment of industries in the 6 geopolitical zones.
It will improve upon what is already on ground. Infrastructural expansion, talking about building industries, establishing cottage industries that may take care of our young graduates who are coming out of schools.
We expect him to do more. Let him get the spark so that they will fix our economy.
The respondents solicited the cooperation of the various arms of government in the overall development of the country. In Enugu, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
Understanding the concept of metrology and its economic benefit is the focus of a training organized by the Standards Organization of Nigeria for various key players in Enugu. Ameti Pius has the details.
Metrology is the science of measurements that touches all facets of human endeavor in medicine, engineering, oil and gas, and commerce. The focus of this capacity building exercise with the theme Oil Metering Station Performance Evaluation using uncertainty tools was to expose stakeholders to the importance of metrology to achieving accuracy and traceability in the oil and gas industry.
It is for proper guidance of all the operators in the industry so that we begin to know that what we are doing is okay or is not okay. And if it is not okay, you do it right.
Also examine the need to ascertain the measurement value of the various measuring devices against the calibration standard.
The aim is to bridge this gap between all the bodies that are responsible for the measurement control of Nigeria oil industry in order to be able to maximizing the economic recovery of these resources.
For Nigeria to move forward, we need ourselves. The heartbeat of the economy of this country is oil. And because it is involved, all hands must be on deck.
The Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria was represented at the forum by the Director, National Metrology Institute, Engineer Bede Obayi. In Enugu, Amechi Pius, NTA News.
Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has inaugurated a multi-million naira civic hall and skills acquisition center at Ohom Oba in Udenu local government area of the state. Uchenna Nnamele reports that the project was executed through State Agency for Community and Social Development Projects.
The 10 million naira project was abandoned in 2010 but was completed by Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi-led administration. Following the contribution of the community 10% counterpart fund, the Enugu State Governor, who was represented while commending the CSDP for transforming the lives of the rural communities in the state, urged the benefiting community to cultivate maintenance culture.
We can develop maintenance culture in such a way that it becomes, a phasal thing from, time to time, whether there is no deterioration.
And we had to ensure by rallying around the members of the community, we are celebrating the success of the project.
Members of the community expressed delight over the edifice. The event had in attendance the traditional ruler, elders, and youths. In Enugu, Uchenna Nnamele, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Enugu. Is back to Kende in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Comfort. The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC, Major General Suleiman Zakari Kazari, has disclosed that robust strategies have been put in place to overcome challenges encountered in the mobilization exercise of the scheme. He disclosed this in Kefi, Nasarawa State at the opening ceremony of the 2019 Batch A pre-mobilization workshop. Suraj Abdullahi has the details.
In year out, the NYSC scheme is updating its model operandi for easy discharge of its core mandate. This time around, the scheme drew its staff from across the 36 states of the Federation, including the FCT and other critical stakeholders, to brainstorm and share thoughts on the best way to tackle mobilization challenges. Director General of NYSC, Major General Suleiman Zakari Kazaure, says the exercise will review the parts of this scheme with a view to improving the processes and procedures.
It's a forum that provides opportunity for the NYSC management and the stakeholders to interface. They will now review the past mobilization in order to provide a solution of the problem encountered during the previous one.
Nasarawa State Governor Umaru Tanko Almakura, in a message, reassures support to the scheme in the areas of core member security of lives and property, as well as improving their social well-being.
We will also continue to ensure the security and general well-being of core members deployed to the cities.
The theme for this year's workshop is towards eliminating recurrent issues affecting the NYSC mobilization process. From Kefi, Suraj Abdullahi, NTA News.
Civil society organizations in the country want citizens to be more involved in the nation's development planning process in order to promote good governance, probity, and a corrupt-free society. Hence, a media conference on the opening government partnership model in Abuja, where participants noted that government will be more effective when open to public oversight. Olabode Arawa reports.
The Open Government Partnership is an initiative that seeks to make governments more accountable, more open, and more responsive to citizens' yearnings. Like minds in this area are engaging governments on the benefits of being transparent, while also calling for the use of technology to eliminate corruption.
Everything we're doing is so that there's efficient service delivery, so that the government is more trustworthy and the citizens also get what they ought to get.
For government to meet the priorities and expectations of citizens, it requires participation, it requires openness, it requires ownership of the process.
They commended the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration for signing Nigeria into the Global Open Government Partnership in 2016, thereby paving way for some states in the country to develop effective platforms for citizens' engagement in good governance.
There should be more access to government programs and policies around anti-corruption, fiscal management, and social investment, and that the technology platforms and systems needed to enhance these access should be improved upon. It is courage and commitment for a government to want to open up itself for scrutiny, for transparency and accountability. So we salute the courage of the present government.
The media conference is to usher in this year's Open Government Partnership Week with the theme, Inclusiveness. Since 2016, when the nation signed onto the Open Government Partnership, the nation has recorded successes in the area of accountability, in good governance, in access to information and citizens' engagement, thereby ensuring that it meets societal expectations. In Abuja, Olabode Arawa, NTA News.
The Consumer Protection Council, CPC, and key stakeholders in the marketing sector have met in Abuja to deliberate on more sustainable ways to ensure that the right of consumers are protected in the business value chain. Concerned over reports of short change by consumers, key parties met to fashion best practice as part of activities to commemorate the Consumer Rights Day 2019. Chief Executive Officer, Consumer Protection Council, Mr. Babatunde Irukera, says in line with this year's theme, Trusted Smart Products, stakeholders in the manufacturing and marketing sector must comply with safest applicable standard. He notes that the Council will sustain a regular interface with relevant bodies to boost efficient service delivery to end users that guarantees satisfaction.
Consumerism as a fundamental human right, and because the nature of business is always to try and make profit, it's very important that we recognize what consumer rights are. And the biggest problem in the world today is also whether consumers truly recognize their rights and whether companies do enough to respect their obligation to regard those rights. And so to dedicate a specific day to the rights of consumers, I think is appropriate. And what I would say is that with the number of years that this has happened, I think consumers are more aware of their rights. But in spite of that, there's still a long way to travel for consumers to truly understand their rights and for them to have the motivation and understand the enforcement mechanisms that are available.
For the CPC boss, this year's celebration is an avenue for consumers to be more aware of their rights and the need for more stringent enforcement. Nigeria should take advantage of being the largest market in Africa to build cinemas in the nooks and crannies of the country for economic diversification and development. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, discussed this at a conference on distribution and regulation of films in emerging new markets. Adebola Brookston Sunday reports.
Cinemas in Nigeria expanded and new ones established after Nigeria's independence. As a result, Nigeria's content in the theater increased in the late 1960s into the 1970s. Organized by the National Film and Video Censors Board in Abuja, it drew participation from within and outside the film industry. Talk heads at the conference centered on how to best regulate the industry without impacting negatively on the business.
The Honorable Minister of Information and
The
Culture,
minister, represented by the permanent secretary in the ministry, Grace Gekwe, believes that more jobs will be created by building more cinemas.
An opportunity to create employment for a lot of our people at the grassroots. If we have these cinemas at that level, because when you build cinema, you are going to create a lot of activities around the cinemas.
To further help protect the interests of movie makers and other players, the board will henceforth give out certificates and licenses with high security features.
So that when you handle it, when you hold it, you know you are holding a certificate that is commensurate or equal to the ones we see abroad. That when you hold it, you know you are holding something from Nigeria, printed in Nigeria. That's the game plan.
The film industry is one gold mine that is waiting to be tapped.
A lot of benefit comes with that in terms of economic drive, in terms of socialization, in terms of mobilization of the citizens.
The board is empowered to license, censor, and classify all films and video works to be distributed and exhibited in Nigeria. Adebola Brookston Sunday, NTA News.
Let's now join Abubakar in Maiduguri for more stories on Nationwide. Hello, Abubakar.
Hello, Kende, and thank you for joining us in Maiduguri. The coming together of politicians, irrespective of political affiliation, to work together for the betterment of the society brings about rapid development, peace, and unity in the country. This is the summation of most residents of Maiduguri following the remarks made by Borno State Governor-elect on the need to eschew differences and work for the development of all. Memuna Garba reports.
Politics in Nigeria over the years has been viewed as a form of rivalry amongst some politicians, especially by those who lost in the context. According to an elder statesman in Borno, Dr. Blamo Malugubio, God gives power to whom he wants, hence those that could not make it should embrace the will of God for peace to reign and development.
Our traditional leadership at the traditional level at the spiritual level always succeed themselves without any rancor. That has translated to the modern day politics. Those who see politics as do or die affair seem to me as being irreligious.
Consequently, it is worthy to note that interests of Nigeria supersedes that of any political groups as such. That is why the Borno State Governor-elect Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, shortly after he was declared winner, extended hand of friendship to the opposition, expressing his interest to work with them.
Politics generally is to the development of the people. And whether you are from the opposition or from the leading party, whatever missions you have is to ensure that your people develop. So the governor-elect has promised to work with the opposition, and I think it's a welcome development.
What we require is now inclusive government, not exclusive. If the governor-elect chooses to go inclusivity, then core party may decide to participate.
Embracing the spirit of sportsmanship by politicians will no doubt strengthen the bond of love amongst the diverse people of the country, as was exhibited by some politicians in Borno.
Going by the antecedent of politics without bitterness started right here in Borno State, as conceptualized by the later Alhaji Waziri Ibrahim of blessed memory. Yes, that is what is supposed to be for a leader, to call all and sundry. This is a sign of patriotism.
When politicians eschew politics of bitterness, Nigeria will move forward and succeed in all facets of lives. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
In the meantime, residents of Maiduguri say every administration is expected to bring something new to the table. While speaking to NTA News, some of them bear their minds on their expectations of the new leadership in Borno. Jatwa John Jesney completes the story.
With the official declaration of Professor Babagana Umar Zulum as the substantive governor of Borno State, let's talk to some residents of Maiduguri on their expectations from him.
Good thing will happen, because when it comes to education, when it comes to integrity, when it comes to faithfulness, is there with him.
Mutumin nan tun kafin ya zo gwamna abinda ya local government wannan kadai ya ishe mu mutanen Borno mu yabe shi.
In the sector of the teachers, Babagana should please let him be in position before new salary will be introduced. Let him implement the last 18 minimum salary for the local government.
Muna tsammani dai tun da Allah ba shi wannan mulkin zai mana kokari akan insurgency musamman rashin kasuwa da muke fama da shi.
Lokacin da yana commissioner mun gani ya ce in Allah yarda in ya shiga duk iya abun da ya sani zai na Allah ya kawo mana zaman lafiya a Borno zai kai Borno zuwa next level.
Residents of Maiduguri are optimistic that Professor Babagana Umar Zulum will consolidate his efforts while serving as Commissioner for Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement in Borno State. It's back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jadwa. And that's a contribution from Maiduguri. Let's now rejoin Kende in Abuja for more on Nationwide. Kende.
Thank you, Abubakar. And still to come, sports update and other report after this short break. Don't go away.
New edition of TV Guide is out with special focus on the role of the media in election coverage. Exclusive on the National Broadcasting Commission, its mandate as the sole regulator of Nigerian media. Dr. Toba Daba Ben and Ishak Modibo Kawu now. This edition also features the king of stand-up comedy in Nigeria, Ali Baba. NTA standards to be ready for election transmission after decades of abandonment. Find out from the DG transactional elections in our political space. An evil wind that blows no good. DG, National Orientation Agency, calls on TV Guide, your indispensable companion, x-rays the impact of social media on electioneering process as electorates present their expectations from incoming government. Meet some TV professionals behind the screen and other inspiring stories in sports, entertainment, and lots more. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or NTA stations nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Get the latest news and updates from across Nigeria on NTA Nationwide. NTA Nationwide, weekdays by 4 p.m. Get it first. Get it fresh.
Welcome back. The Nigerian Immigration Service has installed a system called MEDIAS in about 84 points that will improve monitoring of the country's borders to check the influx of transhuman and international migration. Minister of Interior Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazal stated this when a cost 12 participant of the Institute for Security Studies visited the Mini's office in Abuja. Francis Fom has the details.
For some time now, Nigeria has been grappling with security challenges ranging from communal conflicts, insurgency, and that of farmers and herders clashes.
Insurgency in the northeast.
The Minister of Interior says monitoring alone cannot deal with the security challenges, but that the government has developed modern capacity facilities that will help in addressing the emerging challenges.
The issue of transhumans, it's a complex situation that requires a lot of information. It's with this information that policies will emanate.
This visit by members of COS 12 participants of the Institute for Security Studies is part of efforts to find lasting solutions to the impending security challenges in the country.
Some of us are not unaware of what is happening to our youth. Some of them died at the Mediterranean. We felt we should look at it and offer a proper solution.
With the team, transhuman and international migration, challenges of governance, peace and sustainable development in sub-Saharan Africa, the 9-month course by the Institute of Security Studies is a platform for deliberation on the future of effective security strategy for national peace and development. The visit coincided with the 65th birthday of the Interior Minister. In Abuja, Francis Fom, NTA News.
To boost the economic and social development, the Ekiti State Government has commenced implementation of its Electricity Regulatory Act. Kola Adebubwe quotes the governor as saying jail term and heavy sanction awaits offenders.
With nearly 30 to 50% of energy distributed to customers lost to energy theft, which is manifested in form of illegal connections and vandalism of power infrastructures, including transformers, feeder pillars, electricity cable stealing, hanging of wire and bypass of meters, the Ekiti State government came up with the Electricity Regulation Act with the legislative passage and executive approval seeking to curb and deter illegal and unauthorized use of regulated electricity supply, as well as protect electricity infrastructure. Ekiti State Governor Dr. Kayode Fayemi and the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Benue Electricity Company, Mrs. Funke Osinbajo, believe the inauguration and launch of the Regulatory Act will go a long way at enhancing power supply to consumers for social and economic development.
The regulation arising from the 2015 Ekiti State Electricity Regulation Law.
We've been partnering with the state government to sanction when we identify such theft, such customers who steal our energy.
Ekiti State government and the electricity company are expected to work with security agencies and judiciary for implementation of the act at checkmating the cankerworms affecting the power sector energy theft. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adebubwe, NTA News.
And out of sport, rugby returns to National Sport Festival in 2020 as familiar foes wait up each other in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions and European League. Tamara Ibiye has reported.
Rugby, for the first time since 2009, has been relisted among the 32 sports set to feature in the 2020